Hello and welcome to the Underpowered podcast. And this is a gaming-centric podcast for a busy gamer or nerd just like you, where we still find time to do our thing, game, or whatever we may feel like it. My name is Shelby Stokes.
Hi, I'm Philip Karen. Welcome back again.
That's Philip Karen. You heard from him secondly. You heard from me first. We're here to do a podcast. I'm coming off of a weekend of wedding work where I definitely folded a lot of tables and screwed together a dance floor. And I tell you what, I am a little tired following that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe the weather's changing. It's feeling like a little bit of a draggy week. We've been sleeping a lot. It's getting finally, I don't know, fall is kind of my favorite, but it is kind of a transition from that intense summer heat to go into this. Everyone's back to school, back into it, getting ready to gearing up for all the holidays and all that family time. So I think we're definitely in a period of transition right now.
I think you're exactly right. I have a coworker who was like, I just can't wait for it to be cold again so I don't feel bad going to sleep at 5 p.m. And I'm like, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Like,
To a
I
degree.
live that life. I live that life. Right. Exactly. Also, don't want to go to bed at 4:30. Like, still have stuff to get done up in this life. Yeah.
That's exactly right. So
Hashtag depressed. Yeah. So I mean, depression is real. If you need help and you're looking forward to this winter, just enjoy your sun. Enjoy your sun while you can.
yeah,
Yeah.
get it in, get your vitamin D, go for a walk, put your raincoat on and get outside.
That's right. That's right. Go puddle jumping if you must. Fill up. Have you been puddle jumping before?
I mean, I don't know that I would have put like a name on it. Like I wasn't a professional puddle jumper, if that's what you're asking. I didn't have the neighborhood relay but I have stepped in a few puddles, although I will say stepping in a puddle when you have Crocs on is not a good look. And I am one of those people who I've gotten to an age where I refuse to tie my shoes. So
But
I don't tie
also,
shoes
if
anymore.
you're wearing Crocs, you're probably not going for a good look anyway, right?
Yeah, I gave up on that a long time ago. So we're way past caring
I'm
anymore. But yeah,
just saying, the cover of GQ, no one ever wore Crocs. They weren't like,
no,
oh yeah, no, this is it. We are killing it.
especially not used Crocs with no soles on them. Yeah.
Slightly used Crocs, but guess what? Those are breathable as heck right there. Your feet never sweaty.
That's exactly right. Well, I think that you have some things right in front of you that we're for those of us watching live and on stream, that you're gonna open, and maybe one of them will be the appropriate thing from Dr. Z.
Okay, I'm opening this one because it's a little bit bigger. Now, this is the mailbag. If you'd like to send me anything, just send me a direct message on Discord, and I will open it on stream. And this is probably not what Dr. Z sent me. These are cable ties that I definitely ordered off the internet. And the next package from some direct. I don't know what this is. If this is something good,
I don't think either of them is it.
I think you're right. These are more cable ties. And that is the most disappointing segment of the week. Welcome to More Cable Ties with Shelby. What was I looking for in the mail? Do you know what I was looking for in the mail?
I do. And so I guess what I will do is to kind of salvage this segment is to do my opening of what I have. And then on the next episode, you could do your opening by the time it arrives. So we received each of us being you and me, a special limited edition. Don't quote that. It's not a limited edition. Pack of 6 Fortnite cards.
What?
So
I want mine now. I want them.
We are going to do.
Now.
I've already preemptively opened the box so we could blaze through this, and I don't know what they do. I have no idea what they are, but this is what they look like. We have a Winter Hunter. I think that's what that one is. That's a skin. So now I don't even have a skin for my digital character. I have a card of a skin for my digital character. This one is Barracuda. Okay, rare. This is rare, so that must be worth something. This one is Vector. Okay, this is a football player. Strong guard. Could you get more? Could you get more of a generic name than that? I have a weapon here, which is actually, I have 2 weapons here. This is a Reaper, and then on the back is a Renegade Roller. And then
Nice.
I have Homescape. It's a rare wrap, and Industrious skins for your gun. So I have printed cards of skins from a digital game. It's
There
like things
has
have
to
come
be.
full circle. Yeah, these things have come full circle. They now actually physically exist. Here they are. There's my
So wait,
16
there's no
cards.
like code for you to put in anywhere. Like you're just randomly opening these cards that are Fortnite cards.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give them to you if you want. I mean, I
I
don't. I
mean,
mean,
I
I'm.
I just want to know if I can use them in game. Like, can I get a character out there with the Reaper?
That's actually. You know what? Look for these special inserted cards, um, legendary or frozen series in every 12 packs, holo foil in every 8 packs. They really want you. Optichrome holo in every 24 packs. What does that mean? I don't know what it
Well,
means, but it
Dr. Z
sounds
says, I
like
can't
I
believe they don't unlock anything whatsoever. So that's always nice. He's already been down this road. Dr. Z's like, how do I get this in game? You
well
don't. That
well
is
yeah,
how
there's
that
no
works.
I mean there's no code on them. There's no QR code. There's nothing to scan. There's nothing to enter. So yeah, I mean I just have a thing. So here they are.
Nice. I am so excited for mine. Instead, I got cable ties. I'm highly disappointed. Way less sexy. Also, way more common.
With that note, you were gone for a long time.
I
So
was.
what have you been playing?
I've been gone for like a week, it feels like, and all I've had access to is my Switch. I'm playing a little bit of Luigi's Mansion every night, trying to do a floor per night. That's not always working out. I'm still getting along in that game. Dr. Z and I were playing games yesterday. We were playing Fortnite, and he's like, everyone says this game is so good. Why don't you like it? And it's very good. It is a very good, well assembled game. I think that the controls are meh, and I think that I'm want to reserve judgment till the end, but I just don't. I feel like it's a one trick pony. Like you're going to go through the game, you're going to do the thing, and it's not going to be revolutionary. It doesn't feel like I'm getting better at the game in regards to strategy. It just feels very surface level, almost like it is a game made for kids, and it does that very well.
Well, I will say I was expecting, based on recent reviews, I was expecting more of a reversal for you. So you didn't quite. Now you went from I'm not feeling this game at all to it's a good game. So we've kind of gone from yellow to green, light green.
It's a good game that I will not recommend. How does that track?
Well, how many hours until you're finished with this game?
Too many until it's finished. I believe I'm 60-ish% of the way through. I hit this point where it's like, hey, you just played through 3 levels. Why don't you go back and play the last 2 levels a little bit? And I'm like, how about you don't do that to me again? Thank you. I can see what you're doing. You're stretching this game to get more game time. Not here.
Is this
So
one of those things where you have to go back and get a certain number of coins in a level in order to progress on to the next section? Because, like for instance, what was the game that did that with First Switch? Yoshi, the Yoshi game, was it Yoshi's Island, which was actually kind of fun, but you had to have a certain number of coins or stars or whatever in order to unlock the next level.
It's not necessarily that, but what it is so in each level you're trying to go through and you're trying to get a certain button to take you to another floor of this haunted hotel. So at one point, at the end of each level, you kind of take on a boss, and then boom, you get another button. Take it to the elevator, put it in the thing. Well, on one of the levels, you go and beat the boss. It spits out the button for the next floor, and then a ghost just grabs it and dives down like 2 floors. So then you have to go back through these last 2 levels to go and find this ghost that's already been in the levels that you were already in.
That's kind of annoying. I don't like
Annoying.
backtracking really anywhere in a game, so it is kind of a cheap way to like there's nothing worse than going through a cave in any game, getting to the end of the cave, like going through this whole adventure and being like, just give me a teleport back out to the surface. You know what I mean? As opposed to
Yeah.
like now I gotta backtrack through all these traps, do all this stuff all over again. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of backtracking.
Yeah, yeah, and like this game specifically, it's very good. It's well made. I just don't know that it's worth everyone's time, and that's where I'm probably gonna land on it. I don't think I'm gonna end up recommending it. I'm playing it. I paid for it. I'm enjoying it. I'm not loving it. Like coming off of the Forgotten City, that was like 5 stars. Yes, play this now. I need to talk to somebody about it. It's definitely like, oh, this is good, but it's not what I just experienced.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because looking at the trailer and some of the gameplay footage, it looks to me like it has the potential to be a really good game. Like the graphics look clean, right? The levels look kind of interesting and unique. It looks like the puzzle pieces are there for this to be a really good game. But the mechanics just didn't quite live up to it, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. And I have like the digital or the physical copy. So if it's a game that you and your son would be into, you're welcome to borrow it from me. I think that's the way to play this is if you got a little one and it's like their first time in a game setting like this, they're probably going to love it and think all the whimsy just lands perfectly. If I was a younger individual, like more elementary in my gaming career, I think I'd be all over this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's disappointing. I mean, like I said, it looks like the mechanics within this game have the potential to be something that's really cool. I see like Luigi doing lots of different things from turning into a ghost to walk over spikes to falling down the drain, um, down the pipe. But when you have mechanics that don't reinforce the experience,
Mhm.
or that are redundant or that require such precision that you like, hey, I got it. I understand what I'm supposed to do, but it's not doing it, that can be a hindrance and can pull you out of that experience, and make it so that you're not having a good time.
Yeah, and part of it is like there's only so many things you can do with each. Yeah, there's only so many interactions you can have with each thing in the world, right? So you basically have the the opportunity to take your vacuum and suck air into the vacuum, blow air out of the vacuum, hit it with a magical light, and like two other interactions. So essentially, you're going from like point to point, like key points in the map, doing one of these 4 or 5 interactions, and that's essentially it. So there's not really a lot of logic that goes into it. I find there's a little bit of disconnect that you would see in some of the old school point and click adventures where you're like, how was I supposed to know I had to use the boot with the elevator to get into the next level? You know what I mean? Like weird off the wall combos like that. I find myself looking up more of this game than I normally do in a gaming experience. Like I'm just like, okay, what do I need to do to get past this next part? Right. Rather than like going to each corner and trying each thing, I'm just like, no, what's the next step? Like I need to get through this.
There's nothing worse than you're like looking at your watch when you're playing a game. Like, man, I have that old family issue of needing to finish a game just to finish it. But like, how many more hours am I going to be playing this?
Yeah, and I think like part of the reason that I'm even playing this is I played through Chicory on the Switch, loved it, loved like being able to go to bed, play for an hour, and then turn out the lights and pass out. So I'm just like, yeah, I'll give the Switch another shot. And here we go. This is on my backlog. So we will see it through, Philip. We will see it through. Hopefully next week we can put it behind
Hopefully.
us. But who knows? Who knows? Have you been playing any games recently?
Yeah, I've been playing a bunch of different games, to be honest with you. Slay the Spire, we know I've been playing that. We talked a bit about it last week. I really,
Nice.
really enjoy it. I believe that there are 3 acts. This is another one of those games that, um, I really have a tough time with the roguelike genre simply because, the runs take on any of them take an hour and a half or 2 hours um, to complete a run, and so if you only have an hour and a half to play, I know that, Ethan Tor, when we had him on, he was talking about this, like, it's really difficult to save and walk away from the game because you forget what
Mhm.
your builds are with this particular game. So I always find that challenging with roguelike games, but I still find it really fun and enjoyable. I also will say that I took a moment to play a little bit of Fall Guys the other day, and it is way harder than I remember it. It
Oh,
is,
Illegal says what up in the chat, by the way. I know you guys were kind of going back and forth in one of your last streams, right?
yeah, it it's way harder than I remember it. And I remember it being, I think it was just like you want to get the W just so you can say that you got your one win, but wow, I'm getting old, man. And
Are
like
you
if there
gonna
was a
get your W in Fall Guys?
yeah, I have never gotten one. So that's one of those games where like it's kind of like when you played Fortnite back in the beginning and you were like, okay, I crouch walked the entire time and I hid in the bush and I got my win. I've had this experience. Um, we haven't had a really good party game like Mario Party, and I think that this kind of fills that sort of casual sort of experience. But the problem becomes in some of them, right? There's such a level of randomness, right? Like, especially if it's like a race where you really don't feel like skill is the primary motivating factor. I think that we're always looking for that balance between like how much skill and the randomness of like what's going to happen next, But when the balance is skewed a little bit heavier towards randomness, it can get quite frustrating. So, yeah, it was I turned it on expecting to be able to bang it out in like in 1 hour and just like get my win. And I could barely qualify for the second round.
Whoa, come on, you're
So
not that bad at video games.
way harder than I remember it being. Way like I was getting sweaty hands, and you know what I'm talking about when you're gripping the controller a little too hard. I was getting some sweaty hands while playing this game for sure.
Dude, Illegal says maybe you should try harder and just do solos. They're easier than duos. Were you playing with Nathaniel?
Yeah, we played for about an hour and it was fun. It was a fun experience, but you once you get it, right? Like there's no like you were saying with Luigi, once you understand the mechanics, there's no like depth to it. You know what I mean? You have three buttons: jump,
Yeah.
dive, and grab. So once you master that, it's like this is not a long-term 100 hours type game. This is like I don't know what to play. I'm going to play a few rounds and move on.
Nathaniel says that he basically had to carry you the entire time during Fall Guys, which there's not much. Like, did it feel like the controls were floaty to you? Like, did you like the controls? Did they feel tight enough?
No, I mean, I think that that's the thing, right? It's like it's designed, the whole game is designed around failure. They want you to
Mhm.
fail. So your character's really slippery. The jump button kind of has like a float mechanic to it. So when you hit the jump, there's like a slight delay in jumping, even if it's just like by a millisecond. And um and so it's designed to screw you up, right? Otherwise, you would just bounce from platform to platform and be done. Um, so yeah, it was definitely one of the more frustrating experiences that I've had in a while.
Yeah, yeah. So this game didn't stick for me either. Like this finally came to Xbox a couple months ago. Everyone was super hype about it when it was on PlayStation, and I was like excited. I'm like, okay, this game like took over the world there when COVID hit. Very excited to get it on Xbox. And then when I played it just like a month ago, maybe it was 2 months ago. I'm not sure when it came out, but when it did, I got in there. I'm like, oh, this is exactly what it looks like, and it feels like maybe it's not what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be something where we would all hop on and like get in matches, and it just doesn't have that appeal to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that right when I want to play like a game, especially as my son gets a little bit older, maybe in a couple of years, when I want to play a game like Mario Party where you have the board game element, there's less people involved, and with Mario Party, I don't even remember what the last one was, but when you there's more skill and there's less randomness
Mhm.
involved with Mario Party than there is with this game. So there's you really do have an opportunity to win. And um I'm just reading Dr. Z's comment. Did they freeze? No, I paused the video.
Dr. Z, you got
They
to keep the video unpaused there, bro.
yeah. So yeah, so I played that. I also played a little bit of Mario Strikers the other night for the first time. I actually just picked up my Switch and just played a little bit more Mario Strikers. Those galactic cups they're hard. They're
Oh,
hard. So they
really?
yeah, I mean, at least for me. I mean, maybe other people would have an easier time. So what they do is they have cups, right? And you use
Mhm.
those different cups to unlock you use the cups to unlock the gear, and the gear is like upgrades your characters. So and that's how you can kind of build your characters the way that you want. So you can have somebody that's really good at shooting or somebody that's really good at defending, and you can build your team based off that. The characters themselves have natural attributes. Like with most Nintendo games, I feel like the roster is a little bit small. But they have two sets of cups. They have the standard cups, which I completed all of those, and then which is a tournament style. So you got to win, I think, 4 games in a row to win the cup. And then the Galactic Cups, I think I've only beat 2 of the 6. Um, it's yeah, it's annoying. I mean, I stand by what I said when this game first came out, which is the hyper strikes. If you're able to pull one off, and it definitely gets harder when people know what they're doing because they can just slide in and disrupt your hyper strike. But if you do manage to pull a hyper strike off and land it perfectly, it's a guaranteed 2 goals. So anytime you have a mechanic like that that's like unblockable, it kind of can be overpowered. And I actually wish to a certain degree that the hyper strikes weren't in the game, or that they were pared down to 1 point as opposed to um as opposed to 2 points for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
2 points per goal seems like you're just disrupting the entire flow of the game. Like, to be honest with you, I haven't played this, but it sounds like it's a little more challenging than it was initially. I know that was part of your complaint when you first got into it, is you're like, wow, this is like way too easy.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe it was just like I didn't know. So we actually, when I first was started streaming on Underpowered, there was a really nice gentleman who was like, "Oh, have you done the Galactic Cups?" And I was like, "No." And then he was like, "Oh, hit the X button or whatever it is, and then it switches them between. Once you finish the normal cups, it switches back and forth between normal cups and Galactic Cups." And I was like, "Oh, this is like it's embarrassing and it's hard for me,
Who,
anyways."
who are you maining right now?
So I used Mario, Bowser, and then I am running Peach and I'm running Yoshi. So then that gives me like Mario's your all around guy, Bowser's your defense and tackler. And then I I pretty much took away all of Yoshi's stats and only put shooting all the way to the max. So essentially, if Yoshi ever touches it, and that's the thing, right? If you upgrade your stats on your character via the gear that you can unlock, um, if you have your shooting up to a certain place, you can knock over the goalie, right? Like a power shot will knock over the goalie, right? But if you have somebody that's bad, that say like tackling, if you don't hit it perfectly, they immediately dodge you and get away. So there's enough here. I mean, I was always a fan of Mega Man Soccer, so I was always a sucker for that game when I was a kid. Um, and so yeah, I like this one.
Nice. Nice. That's really cool. This is something that's kind of always had my eye, but I find that I normally pass on some of the Mario sports games. I'm kind of just waiting for that day where there's like, here are all the Mario sports games in one edition, and that day will probably never come, Philip.
No, they'll do Mario Golf, Mario Tennis. What is it? Mario Soccer. What else? I don't think they have Mario Basketball. I don't think they've ever put out a Mario Basketball game.
No, no. Tennis, golf, soccer.
No
You already,
hockey
those are all the
either.
ones. No
Maybe
hockey.
baseball.
I feel like they did do a Mario baseball at some point.
I
Not
feel like
recently,
they
though.
not recently, but I think they did do a Mario baseball.
I mean, that's totally Japanese too, right? Like baseball and Japanese culture go hand in hand.
Yes. Yes.
Dr. Z hitting
Yeah.
us with the baseball emotes. Look at that. Dr.
Someone
Z,
is
is he using a Linux computer to get that effect?
those were hand drawn by paint.
and drawn and drawn by Linux. Well, cool. Well, I'm glad you're having a good time. Hopefully, when I come back next week, we'll have a little bit more to talk about. I know Deathloop just launched on Xbox Game Pass, so I'm hoping to get some time with that. I've been playing a little Halo Infinite. I hope to get a little bit more of that in, and then obviously some Spider-Man Miles Morales.
So are you still feeling like how long have you had Game Pass for now? Here's actually I'm going to double that down with another question. My next question for you is along with that question, I faxed those in.
Dr. Z saying you
Along,
faxed in.
along with Game Pass, right? I've been seeing the new deal that Xbox has reached out with, right? It's like $40 a month, gets you a system and Game Pass. And it takes you like 2 years to pay it off.
Wow.
Have you heard of that deal?
I have. I haven't considered it in a minute, and I didn't realize it was still available. Are you thinking about getting in?
Well, no. I
No,
mean, yes and no, because like $40 a month is like nothing. But like
no.
I am I'm just like I'm an own it person.
Yeah, me
I
too.
don't like something being stripped away from me, or like, oh, we've changed our catalog. I mean, it's the why I'm hugely like not bought into the Xbox Game Pass yet, simply because it's not the ownership for me that I like. It's like it's the taking away, right? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, these shows will be leaving Netflix soon. I'm like, great. Now I don't have access to anything, or I have to go to Amazon and rent that show for $3.99 an episode.
Or I have to dig
So
through my
it's a
old
good deal. It looks
DVDs to
like
watch one episode of Batman.
that are not labeled, yeah, that are not labeled and that don't have the villains written on them because they weren't that prepared for the DVDs at the time. Yeah, I just like I like to not have things stripped away. I think it's a really good deal, and if I were a little bit more open to new experiences, I probably would go pull the trigger on it because I want a new system. There's a bunch of games that I want to play, right? That are coming out that I saw from this year. High on Life, I really want to play. That Atomic Heart trailer, I really want to play that coming up. And it's not like all the other systems, right? Like there was a definitive launch of the system, and there were like a bunch of titles that came out with the new system. And because I remember when I got my PS3, I went down, I bought the PS3 while I was like 22 years old. I put it on the credit card, and I got the PS3, and I got Elder Scrolls, Resistance, Fall of Man, and MLB The Show. And I just like, okay, I have my new system and my 3 games, but it's different now. And so I haven't really felt a serious enough motivation to buy one, but that put me a little closer, I think.
Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. And like I listen to a handful of podcasts in the gaming sphere, and you'll hear the conversations of these people talking about games, and it's almost like a tag, like, oh yeah, play this game if you can. It's on Game Pass, so do your thing. You know what I mean? Like they're essentially giving you a review based on the fact that they're assuming you have access to it. And I really think there's a lot of people that are kind of skewing that way. Like you just operate under the assumption that people have Game Pass. That is not necessarily a good or bad thing. I think it's just kind of where we are in terms of the gaming sphere. I personally love having Game Pass, but I'm also the guy that would go out and pre-purchase a year of Xbox Ultimate just to have like 2 or 3 years in my queue. Like it was just there. You know what I mean? So like every year, be like, oh, it's due again. I'll go buy another $70 card. I'm now further enough in where I'm just letting it hit for $16 a month on my credit card, and I'm perfectly happy with it. Having access to Halo, having access to Deathloop, which is a $60 game brand new. In my head, I justify it with, well, there's 3 months of gaming, and here's a brand new game that I would have gone down to the store to buy. Even like seeing this Nintendo Switch sale that's happening right now. By the way, if you're a Switch owner and you want a new game, there's some really good deals going on the Nintendo Switch, just an FYI. But I'm looking through their catalog and I'm like, oh, Persona 5 is about to come to Nintendo Switch. That is exactly how I want to play the Persona game. And then I'm like, oh wait, but it's also coming to Game Pass. Maybe I'll buy something that's not Persona, knowing that I'll have access to it somewhere else besides my Switch. You see what I'm saying? So like, it's almost like a given that I'm going to have access to it. Like I said, I'm not proud of that fact, but gosh, ease of use sure is something right now.
Take me back to these. First off, Dr. Z in the chat saying Fortnite plays great on next
Yeah.
gen.
Which,
That's
by the way,
fantastic.
the reason he calls that out is because I played on my launch Xbox One with him last night, and he was like playing around in the holding area while I was still loading in, and he's like, "Hey, look at this big bunny in this suit," and I'm like, "Bro, I'm looking at a loading screen. I don't even know what you're talking about right now," and that happened on like 3 different occasions.
We'll just chalk it up to good internet at Dr. Z's house.
There
That's
we
what we'll
go.
chalk it up to. But talk to me about this Switch sale, because I do have a Switch. What did you see? What were you seeing on there? What were some deals?
So you've heard me talk about it before a little bit. 13 Sentinels is a game that for some reason I'm very intrigued by. It looks like an anime dating sim meets the top-down strategy. And I don't know why, but it's also like a time travel story, and I'm a sucker for time travel stories. So I've been
And
eyeing that. That's like 30% off. Grizz is another 2D platformer that I've been talking about going and playing for a while. That's marked down 80% right now. Um, it was the core, the what somebody was saying in the Discord is that it's very reminiscent of a Steam sale. Like everything is discounted to some extent, some more than other. And if you're considering buying anything on Switch, I definitely check it out to see if you can't get a few bucks off right now.
well, I was just wondering, like, what motivated their sales? Like, was it some special event, or is it like, hey kids, September's a bad month anyways because everyone's back to school, so spend some money.
Hey kids, please don't leave our Switches. Can you just play a little bit longer, please?
Our hours on Nintendo Online went from about 10 hours a day to about 30 minutes because you kids are back in school.
That is exactly right here. I'll show you a little bit about what's going on. So Splatoon is a pretty big launch. They're giving you extra gold points, whatever the heck that means. You scroll through this list, I see Doom, Monster Hunter, Sonic, Skyrim, everything 30 to 50% off. So yeah, there's a lot there.
Wow,
Diablo 3 on
there is a lot
Switch.
here.
Yeah. And there's like 3 or 4 pages. So Loop Hero, I know that's on a few Game of the Year lists this year already. I don't know if it'll come in and continue to be on some of those GOTY lists, but that's marked down to $10, 30% off. Puyo Puyo Tetris, Hades. So, I mean, there's some really good high quality games here that are marked down pretty significantly. Pikmin 3 is 30% off. If you are looking forward to Pikmin 4, it might be time to refresh your knowledge on Pikmin 3. So a lot there. I'm not here to nerd out on Nintendo specifically, but if you have a Switch, that might be worth considering.
That is looks like some good deals, some things I might actually be interested in, but I'm going to stay away because I am super tight with my money.
Don't stay away. Spend that money. You want to talk about the news?
Yeah, let's talk about the news.
Let's talk about the news. That's right, it's time for the Speculation News Network, where I would normally flash our graphic. It looks something like this, and it goes like that. The Speculation News Network is upon us. Just grabbed a few stories that I kind of wanted to call out. The first of one being the huge leaks that are taking place this week. You can really get into the weeds on where these leaks came from and how they're all affecting the companies. Long story short, GTA 6 and Diablo 4 had some major leaks this last week. GTA 6 had quite a few of their story details revealed, which I'm sure was going to work into their marketing cycle. And then also 45 minutes of gameplay of Diablo 4 leaked this week, which is pretty significant. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I know more about the GTA 6 and they did find out who leaked it. But I didn't know about the Diablo 4. That's hard, man, when you're working for a company and you have access to these projects and just like, oh, here we go. Like, here you go. Here's like, it's just right there in the open. I mean, look, my personal opinion is that I don't think it's the worst thing in the world because it's all going to go into good marketing anyways. It's just going to bring more attention to what you're trying to put out. But people want to have control. They want to control the narrative. They want to control when things are released. So I don't know. Long term, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I would agree. And like I don't think this news would be as noteworthy if it wasn't for the titles that have been exposed, right? GTA 6, I don't know when GTA 5 came out, but it feels like 10 years ago now. People are clamoring for another installment in the GTA series, and there's a reason that this is kind of leaked is because the notoriety is there and it's making headlines all over the place. I know also within this data breach there were a few bigger companies that were also hit as well. And that's just too bad. I don't know how widespread it is. I'm not here to speculate on that. Just pour one out for those teams that are working hard, and hopefully they can continue on the process. I think part of the disappointment here for me is just getting like those gameplay details that I'm trying not to look at, right? Stuff about protagonists and plot details. It's almost like show me the ad for the game, but don't show me like the plot and twist at the end of the game and or movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think this has been going on, not just the leaks, but in general, there has been like people are learning how to use the internet, right?
Mhm.
And like learning about marketing. And I do feel like if there's a new title that's coming out, like whatever it is, Skyrim or Diablo, and I think I made mention of this a few episodes ago, but like just when you're like really 6 months away from releasing the game and you're there and you're 99% dialed in, drop a trailer and then show me a little bit of gameplay footage and then that's it. Just tell me the release date and I don't want to know anything else because to your point, I want to experience it for myself and I want to right and there we did go through a phase maybe even like 5 years ago. I don't think it's as prevalent now, but like even with movies, right? They would put out 3, 4, 5 trailers for a 2-hour movie and then you would go watch the movie and you'd be like this is the final sequence in the movie like was in the trailer like you literally showed us the final boss battle. Thinking back you're like oh that was a waste, and I think it's just people learning how to use the internet and how much marketing they can do and how much they can show, and it was too much for a while. So I'm definitely in your camp when it comes to this.
Yeah, and I almost didn't cover the story, but I knew it was big news for a lot of people, and I think it's worth discussing in the industry. It makes me think back of when that Wolverine movie came out and it leaked without any of the CGI, and somebody got a copy of it where I was living at the time in college. Like, we gotta watch this. And we watched like the last third of that movie with no special effects whatsoever. And we came out of it like, this movie really sucks. Like, this is so bad. And it's like, yeah, there's no special effects in it. Like, it's literally a guy in a blue cape on top of a nuclear reactor at the end, just yelling, ah. It's like, what do we expect, folks? Come on.
Oh, is that the movie where he fights that really weird version of Deadpool at the end?
Yeah. Yep. That's the
Oh
one.
yeah, I know
That's
it.
the one.
That's really funny.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, if you're gonna leak a game, I know you're doing it for the clicks, but please don't. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
please don't.
It's such a short term. It's such a short term gain. You know,
Yeah,
like you if you do that, you leak it, and then what? Like it's not. There's no long term strategy there. Just like, just chill,
yeah,
just
just
chill.
chill, just chill. Speaking of chilling, there's gonna be some people chilling from the X Play team because this announcement also came out of our Discord. Somebody dropped it in there today. The G4 team that was recently reassembled in just recent history is now disbanding. To make a long story short, it's not bringing in the numbers that they hoped it would. The couple of their key hosts are going away. I know Adam Sessler is leaving the team this or has already left the team. Um, Kevin Pereira, is leaving in October, and they just lost another one of their main hosts. So, long story short, G4 TV was a channel from back in the day. They brought it back, put a bunch of money behind it, and here we are 6, 9, 12 months later, and it's not bringing in the numbers that it was hoping for. Therefore, they're going to see some layoffs, which is too bad. I just think it's really hard to recapture what G4 was back when they were the only game in town on some random channel in the on the cable box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Have you watched? Had you watched any of this? Like, are you more
Nope.
familiar with this than I am? No.
I am I am so like G4 back in the day was like my bread and butter. Like I would get home every day, I would watch it from 2:30 to 3:30, get my gaming news, and then be on my way. Now, keep in mind you, this isn't like a pre-internet day. Adam Sessler and Kevin Pereira are two people that I followed back in the day because they were at the epicenter of a lot of those shows, and it really had a big impact on me as like a young adult. Like, okay, this is actually an industry. These are my people. This is my channel, and then bringing them back. I'm like, yeah, put those people back to work. That was a great thing back in the day. I think that should work. And I'm not going out of my way to watch it. So I am exactly the reason that they're probably making these layoffs.
Well, yeah, there's only so much you can do just in general with nostalgia, right? Like you can only like things have trends and we revisit them every 20 years, except for I didn't realize on a side note that there are so many different Power Ranger shows. I was doing some research and I thought that there was like three and there's not. If you actually Google it, there is at least, I think, 12 to 14 different Power Ranger shows. Yeah, it's way more than
What?
what you think. Like you can read them all off because I was trying to see which ones were on Netflix Netflix, but it's hard to capture nostalgia. And we talked last week about kind of the Zelda and the Breath of the Wild and how there was this evolution of gaming and how like that's if you're gonna recapture it, that's how you have to do it, right? It's like you have to understand the elements that people were attracted to, which is sort of the philosophies and the characters and the landscape, but with something new. And you have to do something different, right? Where is people's attention at? Is it a YouTube only show? Is it right? Or like people are consuming things differently. So you have to kind of integrate and evolve and not just try to kind of do the same thing because the world is much different now than it was before. But yes, I think that there are at least 12 different Power Rangers.
That's good to know. And you kind of mentioned to me before the cast, you were on your way to finding an authentic dragon flute.
I bought one. I did.
Dagger flute.
I did one. Yeah, dragon flute, dagger flute. Yeah, it's all the same. I found one. I ordered it, but it's not. It's not the original sound, I believe, because it was made by who was it made by? Senpai? No, I don't know who it was made by, but whoever made it originally back in 2009, they remade it and they didn't have the licensing rights to make the sound exactly the same. So they had to adjust the sound a little bit. But I told my son, hey, I'm not spending $150 on a plastic toy that lights up. So 40 is what you're going to get. I understand it's for Halloween costume, and this is like a limited window where you're really into Halloween, and I want to like indulge in that, but like I also am not out of control. But yeah, I found one. I ordered it on eBay.
With all that money you saved on your dragon flute, you can now buy a new Xbox, or at least get through yourself 3 months of Game Pass.
I can't do it, man. I just can't do it. I'm like I am to Game Pass what you were
just
to
like
Nintendo
defeated.
Online.
Which I canceled, by the way. I canceled my Nintendo Online the other day. Boom.
Are you serious?
I definitely did. It's canceled.
It only took 2 months. What was the moment for you that compelled you to cancel it?
Because here's the deal. This sale is going on with Nintendo. And I'm like, oh man, Grizz is only $5. I used to have Nintendo. Let me see what I'm at. Oh no, they've been draining that thing for my online membership that I haven't been using. Therefore, I was like, this will not be re-upped. We axed that right meow meow. And it's gone.
That's it. And it's finished. No, I think that there's something about, right? Like consciously thinking about what you're purchasing and being like, I only am going to be able to play one game and I'm going to have to spend $60 on that game. So that game had better be a really good game. Like it better be worth like a couple $100 and I better think about it and research it. I have a nasty habit of like we joked about this in a few episodes ago where I run things into the ground until like they're on fire. My phone is on fire. My jeans are barely being held together. So it's a bad habit of mine, and I actually have to. So maybe I should get Game Pass, but I'm not. I'm not sold on it. Not about that life.
You'll come around.
Not there yet.
You'll come around. They always do.
I'm sure I will. When I'm put in a chokehold and forced to buy it because I can't play with my friends unless I have it, then I will definitely be buying it.
That is exactly right. In other news, Portal is getting some ray tracing upgrades. This was also dropped in our Discord. Ray tracing, it's a big deal. People like it. I haven't used ray tracing. I can't speak to it. But what I do know is that Valve is upgrading the game Portal from back in the day with ray tracing, and boy, does it look shiny. Have you played Portal before?
Yeah, I finished both of them. It's 2 of them, right? There's 2 Portals.
Correct. Yep.
Or just the one. Yeah, I finished both. I mean, look, I don't know much about ray tracing.
Yeah, well, what I do know is it's a lot with the light moving in the game world. So essentially, we're kind of playing a thing right now, but you can see the dynamic lighting. They had a glowing orb going through some of the portals, and you can see the effects it has on the other walls as it makes its way through. It's some cool stuff. Will it get me to re-download and play Portal? Probably not, but it's always nice to see Valve is working on something game related. Because I don't know, do they do that anymore? Do they still make video games, Valve? Or are they just over there printing money?
Um, I think it gets to a certain place where, like, you and I were mentioning this last time, where the graphics get so good that you're like, I can't even tell. Like, there's a person in that window in that building over there, and I'm like, dude, I'm just focused on sword fighting right in front of me. I mean, I think it's good and bad, but I don't think it would compel me to buy a game. Um, but it looks cool. It looks nice, and I also have concerns, right? Because I'm cheap and I have a cheap PC. So you keep making these games better and better, and my equipment is not getting better and better. So eventually, I'm going to be stuck playing platformers.
You're eventually gonna have to come back. Dr. C says some Xbox games have ray tracing. So cool. I don't know which ones those are. I also am working on a busted old TV, so I don't even know how much good I'm getting out of the ray tracing abilities. I don't know the answer to that. You can ask my scientist later. But yeah, those are the news stories I brought. Phil, were there any news related stories you wanted to discuss today?
I
Uh-oh,
did
didn't hear
actually have one. Sorry, we
anymore.
were we were I think we were going through outer space there for a few minutes. Um, and it was breaking up a little bit, but I did. So Modern Warfare 2 proximity chat, which is, I know, something that is fun for those of us that want to feel like we are playing against real people and not droids. I guess my question for you is this: when you play Xbox, are you a microphone off or a microphone on when you're playing by yourself guy?
Oh, I'm off all the time. Yeah, there's no way.
I,
I
I
don't want
actually
people to hear me.
I actually typically am too. I think the concept is cool of like being able to actually talk to people. Like if you know someone's upstairs in a room and hiding in one of the rooms or camping or lying down, you can talk to them within a certain range and be like, "Hey, dude, I know you're up there. Like, let's be friends and come out so I can take your loot."
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
And I think
there
I've
can.
seen some of those things lifted from like Tarkov. Is that where it is? Where they're like people
Yeah,
talking in war all the time? Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I think it's cool. It's just another cool element, but it won't like that's one of those things it's a cool add-on, but it doesn't compel me to buy the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can understand that. But I mean, like, if it's cool and it's dynamic, I mean, I would turn my mic on to try it out. Because we're talking Warzone, I wanted to bring this up because I was talking with Dr. Z about it yesterday. So, Dr. Z, if you're out there watching, check out the screen. I saw this on the TikTok the other day. This new Warzone, they have like different in their battle royale, the circles change. So, have you seen this yet, Phil?
No, I haven't, so clue me in.
So you know it starts, it shrinks down to one circle like it always has, right? Well, they're gonna do different quadrants now, where now it's gonna be three different circles. So it's gonna go down to one and then three, and now they're gonna shrink in three different spots on the map. And then in the thing I saw, you can see the storms all move and converge onto one point, like somewhere else in the map.
That's kind of cool. I mean, I like they had to do something, right? And
Mhm.
like one of my pieces of feedback was um, maybe they had the circle shrink faster depending on how many people were still alive. So like the more people died, the faster they had to do something to deal with the pacing issues. Because the game has issues with like if you haven't played Warzone in a while, I mean I haven't played it in a while to be honest with you, but there's a reason I stopped playing it. You either get killed immediately or you spend 45 minutes not seeing anybody and then you just get shot from behind. So they had to do something to address the pacing issues, and I think that this was their solution to that. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's a cool concept, and I'm hoping that it comes through and has something special.
Me too.
Sorry about that. I had something going on my headphones. Hey, hey, but I'm back to you now. Dr. Z, he says now we're talking. Yes, we are. So that's it for the news. If you want us to cover any stories or give our opinion or whatever the case may be, make sure to drop it in the Discord. We're going to try to farm those each and every week. And this week, it was awfully active. So thanks to the community. Thanks for Declan. There was also a bunch of people on the Saturday stream for the Pokemon cards. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, they did a really good job, and it just keeps getting better and better. And it was cool to watch them go through and they opened a lot of cards.
And also,
Um,
you're biased because you won the cards.
I honestly didn't know that I won the cards. So when I get them, I will send some pictures to everybody, and gloat to everyone that I used the Diglett 3 times and won some cards. But
Ooh.
it was cool. It was cool to watch them do it. I think it's a really fun thing. A lot of people really love Pokemon. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I think they do a really good job. I think Casey and Eric do a really, really good job with those pack openings, and it's just going to be more cool exclusives like that in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that kind of wraps it for news. You want to do guess the game, my new favorite segment that I'm addicted
I
with?
I love it. So let's it creates good content. So let's get into this.
Okay, we are going to try to guess the dot game, and here it is. Our first picture. You can see it here. Ooh, boy, this is spacey.
I
This
will
is getting
say
real
this,
spacey.
that Dr. Z was talking mad trash about how bad you and I were about the last one. So Dr. Z, if you're out there, you need to get this one right on the
Dude,
first
Dr. Z
shot.
would not have been able to call out Quake. There's no way. Was that the
No, it was
one?
no, it was Half-Life. It was Half-Life too.
Oh yeah, that one was difficult. That was yeah, that's right. He's regretting it now. This to me looks like a game about space.
This is like one of the worst. I'm just going to be honest for those of you that are listening in. It's pretty much a green picture with blue dots on it. So this is one of the worst pictures that I've ever seen in general. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
I was thinking either Star Fox or I was thinking
There is a
uh,
blue streak there, so it could be Kirby. Yeah, you are right.
yeah, and Kirby was the other one I was thinking. What was the Star Fox game before on the SNES
Oh, I think it was just called Star Fox, wasn't it?
or Super Star Fox?
That's Star Force.
No, good, thank you. That would have been
It's
bad.
right. There is one right down that just says Star Fox right up there. Yeah.
Star Fox 2, Star Fox Guard, Star Fox 2. Nope, not Star Fox 2. Metacritic score 86. Now,
What are
now, now I'm
what
not
are we
feeling
looking
Kirby.
at right now? It looks like a tennis court to me.
Yes, I'm thinking of field as well. Look at this right here. Is that a ramp? Is that a Rocket League ramp?
I mean that yeah, yes, no, maybe, yes.
No,
What's the
maybe.
first picture? I mean, like this doesn't even look like anything.
No, that's cheat. That's cheating. Those telephone poles. Telephone poles. Where are you
Because there were
seeing
telephone poles in the Half-Life
Oh,
one, and he was like, you guys couldn't figure it out because of the telephone poles.
I mean, is Rocket League in here? It is in here. Are you feeling
Go
lucky?
just go for it. Yeah, go for it. Oh my gosh.
Victory! Dr. Z, where you at, son? Where you at, though?
I
Look at that
can't
rampy
believe
ramp.
you.
Boom! Second
How
photo.
did you even get
Look at that. I don't know how this tells anybody that it's Rocket League, though. This first picture, that's cheap sauce. Oh, you know what? That's a tail from a rocket car. That's
That's
what that is.
ridiculous. That is
That's what that is.
ridiculous.
I know. 3. This
Oh,
one
we wouldn't have
helped.
gotten it if that would have given it away right there.
Twitch. I don't know.
That third picture, I would have known what it is. That's obvious. But those first 2 pictures that is absolute garbage.
That's ridiculous. Boom. That's how it's done. Mic drop. We did it. We got that game guessed. Do you want to just for giggles and grins try the the sound one?
Yeah, let's do it.
The sound
I
very
honestly
difficult for
cannot
me.
believe that you pulled Rocket League out of what looks like splash paintings.
Dude, I'm a boss. I'm like a boss.
Have you been playing this game every day?
No, but also like every morning I wake up and I'm like, am I going to stream today? Because if I'm not, I could go play this game. And then I think, oh, I might stream. And if I do, I'll probably end up playing it. So
That's unbelievable.
can you hear that?
No, I can't hear it on my end.
Oh, well, this isn't going to work very well then, is it? Do you want me to just sing it to you? It goes, Moonch.
I mean, this one is going to be bad for me because I'm not good at the sound game. But do you know what it is?
I have no idea what it is. How's that? How's that for helpful? Oh, share system audio. Let me click that button. Now you'll be able to hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it now. And your interpretation of that sounded nothing like what the sound sounds like.
I have no idea.
I'm gonna guess like Mega Man.
Mega Man. Which Mega Man?
I don't know. Pick one.
Mega Man X.
Okay.
It's a club banger, is what it is.
You get to make a random guess on this one. I'm bad at the sound ones.
This is a game that
Is that helpful for your
what is it? DDR? Dance Dance?
Not even on there. You would probably have to just type DDR all in a row without spaces. No.
This is definitely Deadly Premonition. If that would have been right.
It kind of sounds like a fighting game now, to be honest with you.
It does. Metal Slug isn't in here either.
Do it one more time.
Metal Slug. Oh, do they play the song? It does sound like a fighting game. It sounds like a 2D beat 'em up, doesn't it?
Yeah, that does. It does sound like that.
Streets of Rage. That's
Sure.
a 2D beat 'em up.
Okay. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
You can just hit skip, yeah.
Skip it. I was singing it, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were singing it, but that's not helpful at all. I mean, it hasn't. There's nothing here that has changed my mind. Sounds like a techno Zelda theme.
Techno Zelda theme. This is The Legend of Zelda. Gosh, it's not The Legend of Zelda, but it's The Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds. Nope.
All right.
Why are you giving us the no smoking sign? Is it?
I have no idea. I'm completely fooled on this one. Well, let's just type in.
This is Crypt of the Necro Dancer.
Yeah, type it in. Get us our answer.
Sonic All-Star. Casey probably would have got that one.
Casey probably would have got that.
Oh, that's right, Casey. I'm not good at listening to gaming music. That is a hard game. I don't know what kind of madmen thought that up, but that is too difficult.
I would say so. Yeah. I mean, too difficult for me, but
difficult for me.
Casey, don't cheat and skip to the end when you listen to the VOD.
That's right, for sure. Well, cool. Well, I'm gonna do some streaming sometime this week. We'll thwip and some Spider-Man at some point. And yeah, it's all good. I'm also kind of considering trying to complete the battle pass on Fortnite. Am I crazy, Philip?
How far are you?
I've only played like 2 matches. I think I'm like level 9. Do I buy the battle pass? This is the question.
How much Fortnite? Have you been playing a considerable amount of Fortnite?
I think I'm on level 9. I played a little bit last night. I got in like a round a day. They did like the Chrome update, which is kind of different. different enough.
I've heard that there's a one-shot sniper in there. Now,
What?
they've added like a one if you get a headshot, it's a one-hit kill,
Oh, really?
even from full shields.
Dang, that's kind of
So,
brave, isn't it?
I mean, I'm not getting any one-shot kills, but
What?
somebody is.
Dude, yeah, that's crazy.
And to answer your question, no, don't buy the battle pass.
No, don't.
Stop. You're at level 9. If you were at like, I think it's 100 levels, isn't it?
Is it 100 levels?
I think normally the battle passes are like 100 levels. So if you're at level 9 and the seasons normally end every 3 months or something like that, there's no way, dude. You'll by the time that you get to the end, you'll be level 27.
You're right. It's 100 levels. It's 100 levels. But if I pay for the battle pass, I can unlock all the shinies, Phil. And finally, I don't have to walk around with this noob skin, sitting around with this noob skin. I need like a fancy, cool looking skin.
Well, if you wait another 5 years, that will become retro, and everybody will be doing like what I do and having the basic skin on from the original, from the origin of the game, because it's cool to throw back every 20 years, every 15 years,
Well, it's
back
not
to the
fair.
beginning.
I'm playing with Dr. Z, and he's got a cool Wolverine skin, and I'm just walking around like Guy 135 out of episode 27, season 2. You know what I mean?
Don't do it, man. Yeah, don't. Otherwise, you can have and a ninja sword.
And a ninja sword. That's right. This is a way to rub a little salt in the wound.
What I can do instead of you buying the battle pass is mail you a card of a skin of an imaginary gun that you use in a digital game that doesn't exist, and then you can feel like you have this. Will be more real than the game itself. And you can have
When I
that.
open my pack of cards, I'm just gonna tape one of those cards to my television every time I play Fortnite. What do you think?
Just right in the center of your monitor,
Exactly
so that way you don't know what you're aiming at.
Exactly right. But at least I'll have a ninja sword. That is for certain.
That is for certain.
It is 9 o'clock, 7 after 9. We're gonna call it a night. Start to wind down. Is there anything that you want to say before we say good night to these fine people, Phil?
Nope. Have a good week and keep doing your thing.
Yeah, for sure. Keep doing your thing if you will. And if you want more of us, you can feel free to follow us on our social channels. Those are in the description wherever you're seeing this. We're on Twitch, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube Shorts. Check us out any of those many places. And also keep in mind that if you're listening to the audio version, if you'd kindly leave a review, we would be thankful. 5 stars if you would be so kind. And that is a wrap for this week. We are out.
See ya.
Bye.